A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant turn of events for Hong Kong's political landscape, four former lawmakers have been released from prison after serving over 4 years for their involvement in a pro-democracy movement that has faced relentless suppression under Beijing's national security law. Claudia Imo, Jeremy Tam, Kwok Ka-ki, and Gary Fan were part of a group of 47 activists arrested in 2021 for participating in an unofficial primary election aimed at advancing democratic representation in Hong Kong. Their release marks a poignant moment for many who have been following the increasingly tense relationship between the Hong Kong government and pro-democracy advocates. The four lawmakers were greeted by their families after their release on Tuesday, although the circumstances surrounding their exit from prison were shrouded in secrecy. The vehicles transporting them were seen leaving the prisons under tight security, with curtains drawn to obscure the activists from the media and public view. Reporters who had gathered outside the facilities were left waiting, unable to catch a glimpse of the released lawmakers. Gary Fan, one of the released activists, expressed gratitude towards the people of Hong Kong and the media for their support during his incarceration. Upon reuniting with his family, he emphasized the emotional toll of years spent apart, a sentiment echoed by many of the families affected by the crackdown on dissent. The 2020 unofficial primary election, which attracted over 610,000 voters, was intended to create a pathway for pro-democracy candidates to gain a majority in the Legislative Council. However, the Hong Kong authorities postponed the official legislative elections, citing public health risks due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This decision was met with skepticism, as many believed it was a strategic move to undermine the pro-democracy movement. During the trial, prosecutors claimed that the activists aimed to paralyze the government and force the resignation of the city's leader by winning a legislative majority. The judges, in their verdict, stated that the activists' plans posed a threat to the government's authority and could lead to a constitutional crisis. Out of the original 47 defendants, only 2 were acquitted, while the others faced sentences ranging from 4 years and 2 months to 10 years for conspiracy to commit subversion. The political landscape in Hong Kong has dramatically shifted since the introduction of the national security law by Beijing in 2020, a move that critics argue has effectively dismantled the region's civil liberties. The law was introduced in response to the massive protests of 2019, which called for greater democratic freedoms and universal suffrage. Since then, the Hong Kong government has cracked down on dissent, silencing voices that challenge the status quo. The release of Imo, Tam, Kwok, and Fan has reignited discussions about the future of democracy in Hong Kong. While their freedom is a welcome development for their supporters, many activists remain imprisoned, with some appealing their sentences. The ongoing struggle for democracy in Hong Kong reflects a broader global conversation about the rights of citizens and the role of government in maintaining order versus upholding individual freedoms. Benny Tai, another prominent figure in the pro-democracy movement and a key organizer of the unofficial primary, received the longest sentence of 10 years. His involvement in the 2014 Umbrella Movement has made him a symbol of the fight for democracy in Hong Kong. The stark contrast between the government's portrayal of the national security law as a necessary measure for stability and the views of critics who see it as a tool of oppression highlights the deep divisions within Hong Kong society. As the world watches the developments in Hong Kong, the release of these 4 lawmakers serves as a reminder of the resilience of the pro-democracy movement. Despite the challenges ahead, their return to their families is a small yet significant victory in the ongoing struggle for democratic rights in the region. The situation remains fluid, with many anticipating further legal battles and political maneuvers as activists continue to advocate for their vision of a democratic Hong Kong. The future of the pro-democracy movement hangs in the balance, as citizens grapple with the implications of the national security law and the broader fight for civil liberties. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.